All right, everybody. Samori Benjamin here with Anaheim Angels shortstop Zach Neto. Zach, man, thank you for joining me, and welcome to New York.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man. I mean, so you're here at Yankee Stadium right now. You guys won last night against the Yankees in a 1-0 game. So what's it like just being here in the Bronx playing Yankee Stadium?
It's always good coming back to the Bronx and playing. This beautiful ballpark. Yankees fans. They're one of the best in the league, and just being able to play here under these bright lights and play a really good team in the Yankees. And it's like you said, being able to sneak one through yesterday, and it was a pretty gritty win for us. And we needed to get back on track and be able to beat the Yankees. It was a really good team over there. It gives us a lot of motivation coming into today.
Yeah, about the last 3 weeks or so, you guys have been playing some really good baseball, and you have a second-year manager here, Ron Washington, somebody who I love. What's it been like, playing for him and just having him guide you through this season?
Yeah, it's awesome to play under him. Since the first year that he came in here, you can tell the vibes are good, and he just wanted to teach us the way how to win baseball games. And for a young guy like myself and an infielder, I was very thankful to have the infield guru, kind of help me out in my game and just be able to slow the game down and just be able to go out there and be myself. I felt like I wasn't like that my first year, battling injuries and all that, but just be able to come back healthy, enjoy the time with the guys and take it pitch by pitch, nice and slow.
Hey, growing up, I know you're from Miami, right?
Yeah.
So I know Miami, there's a lot of baseball competition down there. A lot of guys all year round. So how did you get into baseball growing up in Miami?
Yeah, so I have an older brother. He's 8 years older than me, so I got to watch him ever since I was growing up, and just him being my idol, just wanting to just be like him. And I was fortunate enough to have him as my role model, my dad as my coach. So them pushing me every day to be better. And I didn't play no other sports but baseball. That was the only thing I wanted to do, and that was pretty much everything I wanted to do growing up. I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. Like you said, from Miami, we're lucky to play baseball year round, and having a lot of Yankees fans like in my family growing up. From Cuba, I'm born in Cuba, not born in Cuba, but I got my family from Cuba, so they're diehard Yankees fans. So, like I said, playing here is definitely a chip on my shoulder, and just be able to perform.
Now, growing up, what team were you a fan of?
I didn't really have a fan of anybody. Like I said, my grandparents were diehard Yankees fans. I kind of rooted for the Marlins, hometown team, but I was more of an individual fan. I love Derek Jeter. I try to mock my game off of him. When Stanton was with the Marlins, that was my idol growing up. I joked around with him a couple times last year, telling him that I loved watching him play when I was a little kid, and he was like, "Man, you're making me feel old." So, it's just little things like that mean the most.
No doubt, man. I'm actually a fan of Stanton too. He's actually my favorite Yankee, and when he got traded to the Yankees, that was after his MVP season in 2017. So that was a great thing. So that's very cool, man, to be able to be on the same field as one of your heroes growing up, man. That's awesome, man. And yeah. Growing up, a lot of talent there in South Florida. Anybody who's playing the big leagues now who you came up playing against?
I played a little bit against Tristan Casas from Boston. Kobe Mayo with Baltimore. I've always played against them. Never really played with anybody that's in the big leagues right now, but just those guys that from Miami, you pretty much play the best of the best, and they were the best at the time, and it's just you want to be better, you got to play the best team. So that's what made it fun, and just be able to see them out here on the biggest stage, it means a lot.
I gotta ask you about your grandparents. You said they were Yankee fans. Do you remember at all as a kid any memories of watching Yankees with them?
I do remember a couple games. My grandmother was a huge Mariano Rivera fan, so I do remember watching a couple ninth innings with Rivera in there. Like I said, I love Derek Jeter, so trying to watch the highlights and stuff, watching him play, do his magic up there, it's pretty special to watch. And we always had baseball in the house, so it was definitely fun to watch.
Now, with just coming up, and I know out of high school you weren't drafted, right? And then you ended up going to Cambridge University.
Yep.
So how did it feel? Did you feel any type of way at first out of high school not being drafted?
No, I was actually thankful. I knew I wasn't ready to become a professional out of high school. I had the talent, I just didn't have the knowledge, didn't have, the physique to be a professional athlete yet. So I'm thankful I went to school and just became the person that I am right now. I got stronger, got put on a little weight, became a way better ball player, mentally and physically, and it just grew my game and made me a player I am today.
Yeah, so Campbell University and that conference, how do you think that experience and playing at that competition, those teams, really just helped get you to where you need to be?
I mean, it showed the grittiness, that it takes to, become a professional and be in this game. We weren't in the biggest conference, we weren't in the best conference, but we had a lot of gritty players, and not only at our school, but in different schools. So it just showed, that you needed to dig deep to, win ball games, and it was very fun. My teammates made it very fun to go out there and play every day and have a lot of success. My coaches is teaching me the ways, holding me accountable to making sure that I'm held to the standard I want to be at, and now it's to become a Major League Baseball player.
No, I want to ask you, because I asked some guys when do they know or think they can make it to the major leagues, and some guys say from a very young age. Some guys say they didn't realize it until they actually got the call. Yeah. So just in your life, was there ever a time when you thought that you could make it here?
I would probably say after my first year at college, I really didn't think I was going to make it, and then after my first year at college, I saw the success I had. I went to the Cape. I did very well in the Cape, and my name started kind of flowing around there, and it just gave me the confidence that I was ready. I was able to be in this league, and it just motivated me to become better and have a great year.
And you got drafted in the first round, right?
First round.
In 2022. So that's incredible. I mean, so many different, so much baseball talent, so many guys to pick from. So to get picked in the first round, that's an incredible achievement. So how did it feel for you to, be overlooked coming out of high school and then going to Campbell University, not a huge university in terms of athletics known, and you get picked in the first round? How's that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. It shows the hard work I've been putting my whole life and being overlooked, and finally the recognition that I deserve, and not that I want it, it's just the recognition that I deserve. It's a dream come true, and it's something you talk about as a little kid growing up, and just when that call happens, it's a surreal moment. And having my family there, being there in the draft, I think it was pretty special.
And you got to the minor league pretty fast. You got called up the next year, 2023. So what do you remember about just getting the call up, and how was the minor league experience for you first?
Yeah, the minor league experience was awesome. My teammates making it easy for me to just enjoy the moment. I was one of the younger guys on the team, so just be able to learn, mature myself as a player, knowing I'm playing with older guys, and they're not going to put up with all the immature stuff, and just playing hard. That's all they asked for. They knew the competitor that I was. It was just a matter of playing hard, and I feel like I did that, and got me to where I am today to get that early call up in 23. And I remember having a great start to the season, and just be able to enjoy that time. With that chip on my shoulder, I wanted to make the club, and got pulled from a game, and I didn't think nothing of it until I got the call and I was going.
Nice. And how did it feel to be able to tell your parents or your family, and how did they receive that and take that in with you?
Yeah, they didn't think I was being serious at first. They thought I was kidding, but it was definitely an emotional time for me and my parents, working my whole life for this, and just being able to make the dream come true, and then just be able to play. It was at Fenway and then here at Yankee Stadium. So just be able to play in these beautiful ballparks to start my career. It's a true testament to what I've done my whole life.
Have you gotten a chance to play back home yet in Miami?
I did last year.
And how was that?
It was awesome. Playing for free, but it was definitely fun having my whole support group there, my mom, family, younger coaches, little league coaches, high school coaches, old teammates, high school people. It was half the stadium was full, and it was like it was pretty cool to see. It was very overwhelming.
Yeah. Last three for you. And by the way, Marlins Park, exactly one of my favorite parks. Yet the team is not good too often, so people really don't can experience how good it can be. But I was there for All-Star Game in 2017. That was electric, and also the WBC. That was electric too. Yeah, man. So when you got called up, you got a chance to play with Ohtani for a little bit. So How has that been able to play with two of the all-time greats, Ohtani and Mike Trout?
Yeah, it's surreal. It's a moment that I'll never forget, and two teammates that I enjoy playing with.
Okay, so shortstop, you said that Derek Jeter was one of your favorites growing up. Was he your favorite growing up, and who were some of your shortstop inspirations?
Yeah, Derek Jeter was by far my favorite. As I started learning baseball more, Stanton was definitely my idol growing up.
Right.
But I always enjoyed the game with Xander Bogaerts. I love Mookie Betts as well, and just those guys who play the game the right way, and like how I want to play, and just having fun doing it. It's pretty cool.
Last two. Was there a pitcher that you watched growing up that you were a fan of, or that you were like, wow, this guy's really outstanding, and then you got here to the big leagues and faced him?
So I was a very big fan of Jose Fernandez. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to face him, but watching him as I was growing up, it was pretty special. His electricity that he brought to the team and games every time he threw every day, it was pretty special, and it was a special human being.
Last one for you. The most talented player that you've ever played with?
Mike Trout will be the easiest answer. Ohtani will be the easiest answer, but
besides them, yes.
Yeah, I would probably have to say definitely Ohapi. It's something special. He's he's my best friend, if not my best friend. He got traded around the time where I got called up to AA as well. So, just us being able to go through the whole process together and just seeing his growth as well as he's seen mine, it's pretty special. And, he's a special ball player back there at the end of the plate.
Like you said, you two, he got traded here, so you two first met when he got traded here.
Yeah.
And since then, you guys have become that's beautiful, man. All right, folks. Anaheim Angels shortstop, Zach Neto. Zach, man, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, folks. We're back.